Hey darlings. All right, welcome back. So this is Module 10, Lesson 2, which is about planning your work and essentially getting paid, right? And the things that come with that. So the most important piece of this lesson is really that you need to start planning effectively and you need to invest in the tools or the systems that are going to allow you to do that. So I highly recommend that you get some sort of accounting or productivity software for your business, and also one for managing your books. You can get one that includes both. I used multiple. So what I used as a designer, I used Cushion app for planning my projections. What Cushion does is it allows you to lay out your projects on a timeline and your projected revenue so you know where you're going for the year. I use that for kind of the planning piece, and then I used Harvest to actually track my projects and do my invoicing and billing because it integrated with Stripe so people could make online payments, and it was relatively simple. And then I used Quickbooks to actually manage my expenses. And, because QuickBooks, similar to Mint, pulls in everything from your bank account and you can flag it and manage it as whether it was a business expense or not. And then it allowed me to plan for quarterly taxes, which is really important for those of you in the US. The IRS expects that if you are self-employed, you will pay taxes to them quarterly based on your projected income for the year. And it's okay if you don't know what your income is going to be because you're brand new. You have to just kind of guess. And so you can guess based on the quarter. You say in quarter one, which is January through March, I anticipate I'm going to make X dollars. And so I need to pay, I think it's 25 or 30% quarterly taxes. And you need to set that aside from every project. So it's really important that you start managing that now, so you don't get hit with a huge tax bill at the end of the year and then be like, oh crap, I didn't put anything to savings and now I owe the IRS $30,000. It's a really bad place to be. So you're going to just start planning. And so this week, really your only homework is to start looking into the tools and processes that are going to work for you and your workflow. Now, there are literally millions of tools out there, and there are millions of people out there that talk about them, which is why I decided not to get into the weeds. I am going to give you some of my recommendations. The ones that I know the most about from a project management perspective, the things that I hear the best things about are Harvest. I liked Harvest. I went with it because it was very simple. I believe simple is generally better. Sometimes you can get systems that, supposedly cover everything. There's one called 17 Hats, and I know a lot of people that use it and absolutely love it. I found it really complicated. I find that oftentimes when systems try to do everything, they don't do any of them particularly great. And so sometimes getting something that's really focused is better. Another one is FreshBooks. Similarly, I started there when I first did freelancing back in 2008. I used FreshBooks and I found that it to be a little clunky, and so I had a hard time with it. And I kept kind of simplifying. But Harvest, 17 Hats, FreshBooks, there's and.co is a newer one that's free. I've been testing that lately, and it's actually really easy to use. The side effect or the downside with them is that their fee for using online payments is a little high. With Harvest integrates with Stripe, which you can create a free Stripe account and you just pay a small fee. And so I really like Stripe, and you may have to create an account there. With &Co, they use something called WePay to do online payments, and they charge a lot. It's a fairly large amount. You can also do PayPal. You can also do plain old-fashioned checks. That's mostly what I actually did when I was doing design. My companies, they preferred to pay in checks because I was working with larger companies. So it's going to depend a little bit on your client. Lastly, Xero is another one, but it's XERO, and that's good for accounting. I think you can do invoicing as well. And then there's a great little time management tool. Next week, we're going to talk more about time management and kind of planning from a day-to-day perspective, because getting to profitability as a freelancer is really about minimizing the amount of time and maximizing the amount of money, right? And so the more that you can optimize your time, the more profitable you are. But there's a great little tool called Toggl, Toggl, I believe, and you can literally track everything that you're doing and see where you're spending the most time. It's a great thing if you feel like you're not being very productive. Maybe you're finding yourself on social media a lot. You can start tracking your time and seeing where it goes. So those are my top tips, is basically start looking into the systems and don't be afraid to invest in one. But most of these have free trials, so you can try it out once you have a client and, spend a couple of weeks testing it and refining it. And you really just want to focus on continuous optimization from here forward. Every time you have a client, you're going to look at ways that you can improve, and you're going to be creating systems and looking for the software that supports you in your business. Don't overcomplicate it. Whenever possible, keep it simple. If what works for you is an Excel spreadsheet and keeping track of your expenses and your projects, then do that. Don't listen to anybody else that says you have to do something a specific way. Do whatever is going to be easiest for you, okay? Because software is only as good as the people that use it. And that's it for this week. You want to just look at ways that you can get paid and streamline your process once you have a client, or if you have a client right now, look at how you're going to get paid and how you can make that as easy as possible. I personally now, because I travel full time, would be in deep trouble if I didn't have the ability to request online payments. So that's something that's really important to me. So you can start looking at what's really important to you in this process and where you need the most support. Use the forum if you have questions. Please share your tips and tricks if you're already out there and you're freelancing and you found something that works great for you. Let us know. I'll be putting together a big resource book for you at some point. All right, go to it.